Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you joining us today. Are you ready to go on a little adventure with us? Have you ever walked into a large grocery store or a busy local market and felt a bit nervous because you were not sure what to say in English? Maybe you wanted to ask for a specific type of fruit, or you were confused about how to pay at the checkout counter. Well, do not worry at all, because today is the perfect day to learn. We are going to spend the next hour walking through a market together and learning every single word and phrase you need to feel confident.
That is right, Jade. I am so excited for this. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Daily English Studio Channel, your destination for daily English learning and conversation. I am John, and I love food, so talking about grocery shopping is one of my favorite topics. Today, we are not just going to give you a list of words. We are going to show you how to use them in real life. We want you to feel like you are right there with us, picking out fresh vegetables and smelling the warm bread at the bakery. It is going to be a lot of fun and very helpful for your daily life.
It really is. We know that shopping for food is something we all do almost every day. It is a great way to practice your English because the situations are very predictable. By the end of this video, you will know how to ask for help, how to talk about prices, and how to describe the food you want to buy. So, John, I think we should start from the very beginning. Before we even leave the house, what is the first thing we usually do?
Oh, that is a great question. Before I go to the market, I always check my kitchen. I look inside the refrigerator and I look in my cupboards. I need to know what I already have and what I need to buy. I usually make a shopping list. Do you make a shopping list, Jade? Or do you just try to remember everything in your head?
I always make a list, John. If I do not write it down, I always forget the most important things, like milk or eggs. I usually write my list on a small piece of paper or sometimes on my phone. To our friends watching at home, do you make a shopping list before you go to the store? It is a very good habit to have. John, let's pretend we are looking at my kitchen right now. I am looking in the fridge and I see that we are out of milk. We are out of milk. That is a good phrase, right?
Yes, exactly. We are out of milk means we have no milk left. The bottle is empty. So, on our list, we should write milk. What else do we need? I am looking at the fruit bowl on the table, and it looks very empty. We only have one old banana and a very small orange. I think we need to buy some fresh fruit.
Definitely. Let's add bananas, apples, and maybe some grapes to the list. I also want to make a big salad for dinner tonight. So we will need some vegetables. We need lettuce, tomatoes, and maybe a cucumber. Oh, and John, do not forget the onions. I use onions in almost everything I cook.
Onions are very important for flavor. I will add those to the list. So, now we have milk, bananas, apples, grapes, lettuce, tomatoes, cucumber, and onions. Is there anything else? Should we check the bread box? I think I ate the last piece of toast this morning for breakfast.
You are right. We need bread. I like whole grain bread, but white bread is also okay. Let's just write bread for now. This is a good start. Making a list helps us stay organized. It also helps us practice our vocabulary. When you write tomatoes on your list, you are practicing your English spelling and memory.
That is a very good point. Now that our list is ready, let's imagine we are walking to the market. It is a beautiful, sunny morning. The market is just down the street. It is a local market, so there are many different stalls. A stall is like a small outdoor shop. There is a stall for fruit, a stall for vegetables, and even a stall for fresh flowers.
I love the atmosphere of a market. It is so much more personal than a big supermarket. You can talk to the people who grow the food. Look, John, there is the first stall. It is the fruit and vegetable stall. It looks so colorful. There are red apples, green pears, and bright yellow lemons.
It looks wonderful. Let's go and talk to the person working there. We can practice asking about prices. Excuse me, sir. how much are these red apples?
That is a perfect way to ask, John. How much are these? Use are because apples are plural. If you are asking about one thing, like a watermelon, you would say, how much is this watermelon? It is a simple rule, but it is very important.
Exactly. And the shopkeeper might say, they are $2 a kilo. A kilo is short for kilogram. In many countries, food is sold by weight. So Jade, if we want to buy some apples, we need to decide how many we want or how much they should weigh.
I think a kilo of apples is enough for us. We can say, I would like 1 kilo of red apples, please. It is always good to use I would like instead of I want. It sounds much more polite. I would like is a very friendly way to ask for something.
I agree. Politeness is very important when you are learning a language. It makes people want to help you more. So, we have our apples. Now let's look at the bananas. These bananas look a little bit green. Jade, do you like green bananas or yellow bananas?
I prefer yellow bananas because they are sweet and soft. The green ones are not ripe yet. Ripe is a great word for our learners to know. If a fruit is ripe, it is ready to eat. If it is not ripe, you might have to wait a few days. So, I will ask the shopkeeper, are these bananas ripe?
That is a very useful question. The shopkeeper might say, no, they will be ripe in 2 days. Or he might say, yes, they are perfect to eat today. Let's buy a bunch of bananas. A bunch is the word we use for a group of bananas that are attached together. We don't usually say a bag of bananas if they are still on the stem. We say a bunch.
A bunch of bananas. That sounds great. Now, let's look at the vegetables. I see some very large tomatoes over there. They look very juicy. I want to buy 4 tomatoes for our salad. John, how should I ask for them?
You can just say, can I have 4 of those large tomatoes, please? You can also point to them with your finger, so the shopkeeper knows exactly which ones you want. Pointing is very helpful when you are still learning the names of everything.
Can I have 4 of those tomatoes, please? That is very clear. Oh, look at these cucumbers. They are very long and green. I will take one of those too. So far, we have apples, bananas, tomatoes, and a cucumber. We are doing a great job with our shopping list.
We really are. Now, let's talk about the onions. We need a bag of onions. Usually, onions are sold in small nets or bags. I will ask, how much is a bag of onions? The shopkeeper says it is $3. That sounds like a good price. I will take 1 bag, please.
Perfect. Before we move to the next stall, let's stop for a second and talk to our friends. Everyone, are you following along? We have used phrases like, how much is, I would like, and can I have? These are the most common phrases you will use. Try saying them out loud right now. How much is this? Great job. It is important to practice the sounds of the words.
Yes, speaking out loud really helps. Now, Jade, let's go to the next part of the market. I can smell something amazing. It smells like fresh bread. I think the bakery stall is just around the corner.
Oh, I love the smell of fresh bread. It is one of the best smells in the world. Look at all the different types of bread they have. They have long baguettes, round loaves of sourdough, and even some small rolls. John, what kind of bread should we get?
I think a loaf of whole grain bread would be healthy and delicious. A loaf is the word for a whole piece of bread before it is cut into slices. If the bread is already cut, we call it sliced bread. I will ask the baker, is this bread fresh?
That is a very important question. Everyone wants fresh bread. The baker says, yes, I took it out of the oven only 1 hour ago. That is perfect. We can also ask, can you slice it for me, please? Some people like to slice the bread themselves at home, but I prefer it when the baker does it. It is so much easier.
I agree. Sliced bread is very convenient for making sandwiches. While we are here at the bakery, maybe we should get a little treat. Look at those croissants and muffins. They look so good.
They do look delicious. Let's get 2 chocolate muffins, one for you and one for me. I would like 2 chocolate muffins, please. The baker is smiling. It is nice to be friendly. When you smile and say thank you, it makes the whole experience much better.
It really does. So, we have our bread and our muffins. Let's put them in our basket. Our basket is getting a little bit heavy now, but that is okay. We are almost finished with our list. Next on the list is milk. We need to find the dairy stall.
The dairy stall should have milk, eggs, cheese, and butter. Dairy is the word for anything made from milk. Let's look for a sign. Oh, there it is. It says, fresh dairy products.
Perfect. Let's go over there. Hello, we would like a carton of milk, please. Carton is the word for the paper or plastic box that milk comes in. You can also buy a bottle of milk.
And we need eggs, too. In many markets, you can buy eggs in a box of 6 or a box of 12. A box of 12 is often called a dozen. That is a funny word, isn't it? A dozen eggs means 12 eggs. John, should we get a dozen or half a dozen?
I think half a dozen is enough for us. We only need 6 eggs for the week. So I will say, can I have half a dozen eggs, please? The person at the stall is very careful with the eggs. They are very fragile. Fragile means they can break easily. We have to be careful when we put them in our basket.
Very true. We don't want broken eggs in our bag. That would be a big mess. Now, what about cheese? I love cheese. There are so many different kinds. There is hard cheese like cheddar and soft cheese like brie.
I like cheddar cheese. It is great for sandwiches. Let's ask, can I try a little piece of this cheese? In many markets, they will let you taste a small sample before you buy it. This is a great way to make sure you like the flavor.
That is a great tip, John. Can I try a sample? Or can I taste this? The cheese is very good. Let's buy a small block of it. A block of cheese is a common way to describe a solid piece.
Okay, we have milk, eggs, and cheese. We have bread and muffins. We have fruits and vegetables. Is there anything else on our list? Let me check. Oh, we forgot the meat. I wanted to buy some chicken for our dinner tomorrow.
Right. Let's find the butcher. The butcher is the person who sells meat. In a market, the butcher stall is usually very clean and has many different types of meat on display.
There is the butcher stall. They have chicken, beef, and lamb. I see some chicken breasts over there. I think we need 2 chicken breasts. I will ask, hello, can I have 2 chicken breasts, please?
The butcher might ask, would you like anything else? This is a very common question in shops. It is their way of seeing if you need more items. You can say, no thank you, that is all for today. Or, if you do want something else, you can say, yes, I also need some ground beef.
That is all for today is a very useful phrase. It tells the shopkeeper that you are ready to pay. But wait, Jade, I just remembered something. We also need some pasta and a jar of tomato sauce. We can't forget those.
You are right. Those are usually in the dry goods or pantry section. In a market, there might be a stall that sells pasta, rice, beans, and sauces in jars. Let's look for it.
I see it. It is right next to the spice stall. The spices smell wonderful. I can smell cinnamon and cumin. But first, let's get our pasta. There are many shapes of pasta. There is spaghetti, which is long and thin, and there is penne, which looks like small tubes. Which one do you want?
Let's get the penne. It is easier to eat with a fork. I will look for a bag of penne. And here is the tomato sauce. It is in a glass jar. A jar is what we use for things like sauce, jam, or honey.
Great. So we have the penne pasta and a jar of tomato sauce. Now our basket is really full. I think we have everything on our list. Let's double check. Milk? Yes. Eggs? Yes. Bread? Yes. Fruit and vegetables? Yes. Chicken? Yes. Pasta and sauce? Yes. We are ready.
Wait, before we go to pay, I want to ask you something, John. What if we couldn't find the pasta? What is the best way to ask for help when you can't find an item?
That is a very important point. If you are lost, you can find a staff member and say, "Excuse me, where can I find the pasta?" Or, "Do you have any pasta?" It is a simple and direct way to get help.
Exactly. And if they don't have it, they might say, "I am sorry, we are out of stock." Out of stock means they have sold everything and there is none left in the shop. If that happens, you can just say, "Oh, okay. Thank you anyway."
Thank you anyway is a very polite way to end the conversation, even if you didn't get what you wanted. Now we need to go to the checkout to pay for everything. In a market, you usually pay at each stall, but in a supermarket, you go to one big checkout at the end. Let's pretend this is a big market where we pay at a central counter.
Good idea. As we walk to the counter, we see a line of people. We have to wait our turn. When it is our turn, the cashier will say, "Hello," or "Next, please."
The cashier will then scan each item. They will use a machine to read the barcode on the items. For things like fruits and vegetables, they might have to weigh them on a scale.
While they are doing that, the cashier might ask, "Do you have a loyalty card?" A loyalty card is a card that helps you save money or earn points at that store. If you don't have one, you can just say, "No, I don't."
Then, the cashier will tell us the total price. They might say, "That will be $45.50, please."
Now we have to choose how to pay. We can pay with cash, which means paper money and coins, or we can pay by card, like a credit card or a debit card. John, how do you usually pay?
I usually pay by card because it is very fast. I just tap my card on the machine. I can say, "I'll pay by card, please." If I wanted to use cash, I would say, "I'll pay with cash."
After you pay, the cashier will give you a receipt. A receipt is a small piece of paper that shows what you bought and how much you paid. It is a good idea to keep your receipt just in case you need to return something later.
And don't forget the bags. Nowadays, many stores ask if you need a bag or if you brought your own. They might ask, "Would you like a bag?" Or, "Do you need any bags today?"
I always try to bring my own reusable bags from home. It is better for the environment. I can say, "No, thank you, I have my own bags." Then I can start putting my groceries into my bags.
This is a very busy moment. You are trying to pack your bags and the cashier is waiting. But don't feel rushed. Just take your time. Once everything is in the bag, you can say, "Thank you. Have a nice day."
And the cashier will usually say, "You too, goodbye." And that is it. We have successfully finished our grocery shopping in English. How do you feel, John?
I feel great! And I am also very hungry, now that I have seen all this delicious food. But before we go home and cook, I think we should talk to our viewers again. Friends, how was that? Did you learn some new words today? We talked about a loaf of bread, a carton of milk, and a bunch of bananas. We also learned how to ask, "How much is?" and how to pay by card or cash.
If you are enjoying this lesson, please take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, Daily English Studio. We love making these videos for you, and your support really helps us grow. Also, leave a comment below and tell us, what is one thing that is always on your grocery list? For me, it is coffee. I can never live without coffee.
For me, it is definitely chocolate. I have a big sweet tooth. While you were writing your comments, let's do a quick recap of what we covered today. This will help the new words stay in your memory.
That is a great idea. Repetition is the key to learning a new language. Let's start with the beginning of our trip. We started by making a shopping list. We checked what we were out of, like milk or eggs.
Then we went to the market and visited different stalls. We went to the fruit and vegetable stall first. We asked about prices by saying, "How much is this?" or "How much are these?" We also learned the word ripe to describe fruit that is ready to eat.
We used the word bunch for bananas and kilo for weight. At the bakery, we learned about a loaf of bread and sliced bread. We also learned how to ask for a sample of cheese at the dairy stall.
At the butcher, we asked for chicken breasts and used the phrase, "That is all for today." We also looked for dry goods like pasta and sauce in a jar.
When we couldn't find something, we used the phrase, "Where can I find?" and learned that out of stock means the store has no more of that item.
Finally, we went to the quote checkout. We talked about loyalty cards, paying with cash or card, and getting a receipt. We also talked about using our own reusable bags.
It sounds like a lot, but when you use these words in a real conversation, they become very natural. Let's try a very short role play now, John. I will be the shopkeeper and you be the customer. This will give our friends a clear example of a natural conversation.
I am ready. Let's do it.
Hello. How can I help you today?
Hi there. I am looking for some strawberries. Do you have any today?
Yes, we do. They just arrived this morning. They are very fresh.
Oh, they look wonderful. How much are they?
They are $4 for a small box.
That sounds good. I will take 2 boxes, please. Also, do you have any blueberries?
I am sorry, we are out of stock of blueberries. We should have more tomorrow.
No problem. I will just take the strawberries then.
Anything else for you?
No, thank you. That is all.
Okay, that will be $8. Will you be paying with cash or card?
I'll pay with cash, please. Here is a $10 bill.
Thank you. And here is your change and your receipt. Would you like a bag?
No, thank you. I have my own bag right here.
Perfect. Have a great day.
You too. Goodbye.
See? That was a very simple and natural conversation. It wasn't scary at all. John, you did a great job as a customer.
Thank you, Jade. You were a very helpful shopkeeper. To everyone watching, you can practice this at home. You can even practice in front of a mirror. Just pretend you are at the market and say the sentences out loud. It really works.
It really does. English is a tool for communication, so the more you use it, the better you will get. We want you to feel empowered when you go out into the world. Shopping for groceries is a perfect place to start because everyone is usually very friendly.
Exactly. And remember, it is okay to make mistakes. If you say, "How much is apples?" instead of "How much are apples?" people will still understand you. The most important thing is that you are trying and communicating. Over time, you will naturally start using the correct grammar.
That is so true, John. We are all learners. Even we are always learning new things every day. We hope this video has made you feel more comfortable about your next trip to the grocery store or the market.
We really do. Before we go, we want to remind you one more time to subscribe to Daily English Studio channel. We have many more videos like this one coming up, covering all sorts of daily life situations like going to the doctor, traveling at the airport, or meeting friends at a cafe.
And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss a lesson. We want to be part of your English learning journey every single day.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. It was a pleasure shopping with you all. We hope you have a wonderful day and that you get to practice some of these new phrases very soon.
Yes, have a lovely day, everyone. Happy shopping and happy learning. We will see you in the next video.
Goodbye, everyone. See you soon.